my beautiful. I hope you are well. Today I would like to speak about 4 specific things that I do with my face to stay young at my maturing age. And I'm not going to tell you that skin health starts from within because everyone says it and it's such a cliche at this point. But it is also true. If you don't eat well, if you drink a lot, if you don't get enough sleep, it will all show up on your face. So please do sort that out first. But after that, it's about face yoga. I unearthed some travel footage of myself from 2018 and I was shocked at how scrunched up my forehead was. I had so many creases because I was just used to being very expressive with my forehead. They were just expression lines and a lot of us have these, and I guess maybe a lot of us don't realize that you can actually learn to control various parts of your face. And I only really realized this when I went on face yoga retreat in Greece a few years ago. One of the things that this lady taught us was to isolate the forehead muscles. Try this. I'm wearing makeup, so I'm not going to do it too hard, but put your hands like so all around your eyes so that they're like you really feel the contact. And then what you want to do is start moving your eyes. When you do that, you will notice, if you are a very expressive person, that your forehead automatically moves, your eyebrows are lifting up and down. And so the trick is to practice this until you are very aware of that and you start being able to not do that. I am not a qualified face yoga instructor, so you may need to look up some stuff on social media. I would say that that was one of the key ways in which I was able to make my forehead look more youthful. Also, because I've practiced it so much, I can now tell every time I'm stressed or if I'm concentrating really hard, I tend to lift this area of my face and I can feel it. So once you train yourself to feel it, you can also learn to train yourself to relax it. And when you relax your face, relax your forehead, you actually automatically relax your whole body. So it's not just a face yoga technique in terms of seeming more smooth, it's also about overall awareness of your body. And I do body yoga as well. I guess I practice this in many parts of my body. I think a lot of our creases come from expression. And so if you can learn to isolate some of those muscular movements on your face, it will be easier to decrease the appearance of creases. Your face has muscles in it, just like other parts of your body. And I do yoga for other parts of my body. So why wouldn't I do it for my face? Something that I've been able to do is to definitely add more cheek to my face. I've always traditionally had a very flat face. I can do that now. And something else that I do is exercise my jaw because I've always had a very undefined, very small, minimal chin. I think having more chin strength in my face has definitely added some more attractive symmetry to it, I think. So that's not for everyone. Maybe if you already have a strong jaw, you don't necessarily want to increase that, but I do. There's a lot of me doing a lot of this. I'm not going to give you specific advice on the things that you can do to change your face, but if you do look this stuff up, there are several people on YouTube and other social media platforms who actually specialize in teaching how to exercise your face. And I think that is probably one of the best things you can do for a maturing face and to generally give your face more definition in areas that you want more definition. As well as face yoga, I have recently incorporated little elements of face massage. It's more about releasing certain pressure areas rather than pulling the skin. I would say that one of the main things not to do is to tug and stretch at the skin. Gua sha tools, for example, they stretch the skin out. I don't think that should be done. You can stimulate circulation in other ways, such as slapping your face, giving your face a solid slap. That's something else I do. That'll increase the circulation without you having to actually drag the skin back. I do believe in skin elasticity, and I do think that as you mature, your skin does automatically become looser. And I think if you start tugging at it and stretching it even more, that's not a good thing to be doing. And if you're doing it because you've been told that you need a full lymphatic drainage to make your face look less swollen, or you just want more circulation in the blood under your skin, try something else. I use some very basic and at this point in time inexpensive tools to maintain the appearance of my face. So I've got a little microcurrent device and I also have a light mask. I'm not great at knowing what these things specifically do, what their specific purpose is, but I do know that for me what they do is they decrease the appearance of creases. They also work well with pigmentation. I live in Western Australia. I'm always in the sun. I get a lot of freckles, so I have to look after the pigmentation of my skin, and I just find that between those two tools they probably increase the circulation of the blood under my skin and probably just make it look more lively and vibrant because of that, but they also decrease the appearance of creases, lines, make the skin tone look more even, which is something that matters to me. I would say that at this point in my life, realistically, I probably spend at least 40 minutes a day, most days, doing something with my face. I mean, the face yoga, that's not negotiable. I do that every single day. Whenever I drive somewhere, that's when I'm doing face yoga because obviously people are gonna see you doing weird facial expressions. That's cool. And I definitely most days do a red light mask session, which I do for 20 minutes, by the way, and or microcurrent machine. I really am a minimalist when it comes to face products. I use very few. I only use things that deliver vitamin C in the form of a serum or a cream or oil. And aside from that, I do an oat mask a few times a week. This is a bit of a game changer for me because of the Australian sun freckles that I have. A lot of my skincare is aimed at reducing pigmentation on my skin and minimizing the appearance of pores, and I find that an oat mask will do this. It's just the simplest, cheapest way to do this. So all you need is some rolled oats from the supermarket. If you do go to the supermarket, you'll find that they're the cheapest thing at the supermarket. You just cook them with lots of water so they're very, very soft and squishy. Put it in the fridge for a little bit after that. Once it's cold, stick it to your face and let it sit there for half an hour. Finally, something else that I've only started doing in the last few weeks is cold plunging my face. The cold plunge is very, very simple. All you need is a bowl that your face will fit into, and you need some ice and you need some water, filtered water preferably. Fill the bowl up with some ice, with some water. Let it sit for a little bit so the water is really, really cold. I mean, I would say you probably want it to be somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees Celsius at most. Sit myself at a table with a towel, set the timer for 10 minutes, and then all I'm doing is I'm just plunging my face over and over again in the cold water, holding my breath for as long as I can over that 10-minute period. I have been doing this first thing in the morning, and it does reduce puffiness naturally. It makes the pores look smaller naturally. And the other benefit, which I think is the best one, is that it forces you to meditate. If you are someone who likes to meditate in the morning, you could replace that with the 10-minute cold water plunge. You're trying to focus on relaxing your face because yes, your face will contract and freak out, and you're focusing on your breath at the same time. It's a great way to wake yourself up as well, and your face instantly looks a little bit more sculpted. I don't know if I said this already, but it definitely makes your pores look smaller. Very quickly, here are some things that I do not and would not do to my face. Cleanse daily. I do not cleanse my skin unless I am wearing makeup or it's been really hot and I've been wearing sunscreen for a couple days in a row. I'm a really big believer in protecting that skin barrier. If I don't, my skin naturally becomes quite dry. Something else that I barely do is wear makeup. I'm not a big fan of makeup. For a while I was wearing makeup regularly, but most of the time that I do wear makeup now is for making videos. And in terms of makeup, I never ever wear liquid foundation. I only ever have a light powder foundation. Liquid foundation does go into my pores. To me, it seems like it makes the pores and the creases more obvious. It just looks heavy. I barely ever exfoliate. Exfoliation, unless you have something caked onto your skin, can be really damaging to your face. Something else I will mention is that everything that I do to my face, I do to my neck and décolletage. Whatever excess product you have, rub it into the back of your hands. The main goal of all of these things that I do to my face is that my face looks its best when I don't wear makeup. What that means is obviously diminishing the creases, having good tone to it so I don't have to worry about trying to create volume with makeup, making my pores look as minimal as possible, and also reducing skin pigmentation as much as possible. The freckles and all the little blotches, trying to reduce those. All of these things, they help me do that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what else you would like me to talk about. I'll chat with you soon. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you come here, if I speak to you, it probably means we have things in common. Become a subscriber. It really does help me out. And of course, I do have my other channel if you want things that are a little bit more personal, a little bit more vloggy, a little bit longer, a little bit more meditative.